welcome back to my channel. And yes, I look a little scary. Please ignore the subconjunctive hemorrhage in my right eye. Yes, it looks scary. It doesn't hurt. And I wanted to do a little bit more of a relaxed kind of vlog. In this vlog, I'm going to be reading Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett. I'm finally going to finish the Emily Wilde series. The only reason this took me so long to finish was because I was waiting on the Barnes & Noble paperback edition because I have all the other books in that exclusive edition and I wanted them all to match. So we're going to get started on that today. Before I do that, I do need to read my Bible. I have some laundry to do, some wifey things to get done too. So I figured I'd start vlogging now or I wouldn't start at all. And that's pretty much it for this intro. Hey guys, it has been an entire week and I do not have a substantial update because I got very sidetracked this week. And this is what I get for starting my book second because I haven't finished any book I started this week. I started 4 books. No wonder I'm behind. So it has been an adventure the past couple of days. So I'm literally only on page 66 of Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. Like, come on. It's so bad, and it doesn't help that I'll do something, like I'll play Tales of the Shire for I'll be like, oh, I'll only play for an hour, and then I end up playing for 3 hours. I'm 40 something hours in that game. The other night I was like, oh, I'll, watch Jacksepticeye and play for 1 video. It's Jacksepticeye. I'm not just gonna watch 1 video. He's hilarious, especially when he's playing Five Nights at Freddy's VR. So really, I've only really gotten not very far in this book at all. And I think it's because my mind is everywhere right now. And because I'm not focused on 1 book, which is a problem. I don't have a substantial update for you guys. I literally have the first 2 chapters, because those are written in journal entries, done in this book. So this book is not a dud by any stretch of the imagination. I've just been so distracted. So I'm hoping to reboot this tonight and tomorrow. Of course, my husband wants to go out because, God bless him, in this winter he cannot stay still. So maybe I'll get some reading done tomorrow. I don't know. Sorry, that's not a great update, but I am reading this, I promise. I have just been so distracted. So this month I started a book called Orca Endangered Orca, The Story of the Southern Residents, which I started on the 1st of January. And then I started this book. And then, like I said, I got into reading my Bible again this year. Because I was reading Genesis again, I have this book, 7 Days That Divide the World by Professor John C. Lennox, that was given to me as a gift in senior seminar when I was in college. When I finished senior seminar, we all got a copy of this book. And I've had it for 5 years. And I haven't finished it yet. I'm currently on chapter 3 of that one because it's 192 pages. And then Stalking Jack the Ripper came in on my Libby reads, my Libby loans. It came in through Libby. And I got distracted by it, only got an hour into it and gave up and started like watching or listening to other things while I was at work. And I'm just like, so I am reading, but my mind is not focused on one book. And it's kicking my butt. So hopefully this weekend I can regroup and refocus and get even farther into Emily Wilde Compendium of Lost Tales, because that is what this vlog is supposed to be for. Is this book. Anyway, I'm just glad it's Friday. I'm tired. I am probably going to get some reading done tonight, hopefully, though. And I will see you guys later, hopefully with a much better update than this one. It has been several days. Sorry the audio is going to suck a little bit because I don't have a mic right now because my transmitter died while I was setting this up. Anyway, I did finish a book today, and it was not Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, but while we're at it, I'll give you the update. I am on page 154. So I'm getting there. I'm less than halfway through. And like I said on my last update, I completely overwhelmed myself by trying to read 4 books at once. As for the story, I like it. My only thing is, it's kind of, okay, so this may be my least favorite of the trilogy so far. It's not as grounded in reality as I kind of liked of the other ones. And then on the other side of that, I don't get a lot of the Emily and Wendell banter that we really got in like the first book, a little less of in the second book. There's not a lot of that going on, which I think is so sad. At the moment, where I'm at, Emily is in Dublin, catching up with some other professors, which is pretty exciting, and I think the plot is going to finally move a little bit forward, which is fine. However, I think I liked the other books that were kind of set in the human realm or the mortal realm, and you kind of see places of fairy in the mortal realm, and now that she's spending a lot of her time in the fairy realm, I don't feel as grounded into the story, and I think that's a me problem, but I don't feel like I'm as grounded in the story because it's taking more place in a fantasy realm, and that sounds weird from a fantasy reader, but it just feels different from the other 2 books. I did read like all of the Cruel Prince books. I don't remember the name of the trilogy at the moment off the top of my head. And I'm getting that world mixed with this world, and that's really not good for my brain because it's like, oh, wait, this happened. Wait, that's another trilogy. That's another book series. So that's not good. But I will continue to read this because I'm not ending this vlog until this book is done. But right now, not my favorite out of the 3, which is unfortunate. Maybe it'll get better as the book goes on, hopefully. But right now, I'm not having issues per se getting through it. Most issues I'm having getting through it are coming from procrastination and overwhelmed by the amount of books I started in January before I finished 1. So that's a problem. But this one is still going strong. I'm a little less than halfway through. I'm getting there, y'all. The book I finished, however, was not part of this vlog originally, and that was Stalking Jack the Ripper. I
do not know the name of the author right off the top of my head, and I'm using my phone to film, so that's a problem. But I will have the book cover and the name of the author here as well. As for the story itself, it was fine. It wasn't like, I gave it like a 3-star. It's like, it's not horrible. I enjoyed it. I was interested enough to continue it, but I do feel like it's very much that YA 1880s kind of situation where it's a girl who wants to do something that she can't do because society tells her she can't, which is very popular, and I know that. This also came out in 2016, but it gave me kind of Anatomy of Love Story vibes, which I know came out in like 2022, so it came out later. Or was it 2021? Either way, it came out later. Of course, with Anatomy of Love Story, she wanted to be a surgeon. She's in Edinburgh, and there's like a little bit of fantasy in there. Stalking Jack the Ripper, she's in London, not much farther. And it's actually more of a historical fiction and more grounded in that history and in like in the actual like 1880s without like a lot of the fantasy developments that Anatomy of Love Story eventually developed. I like the characters. Thomas Cromwell is very forward, which I don't know how I felt about that. I did like it. Apparently I didn't, because I don't remember the main character's name at this. Audrey. I liked Audrey. She was very smart and confident, but she's very much that sassy 17-year-old, that very classic YA character. So the story itself I thought was interesting. To kind of base the story off of something that actually happened is a risky move. But in the author's note, she does mention, some things were tweaked. She does mention in the author's note that she takes a lot of artistic liberties with the story just to make it work for her characters, which I think is fine as long as you acknowledge that this actually happened and the victims were real. I did appreciate that they had a backstory, and then she's like, I want to respect these women and not just associate them with Jack the Ripper. And that's fair. My thing is, I do feel like some of the story went a little bit slow for my liking. It was like, there are some parts I'm like, why is this even in here? And then by about halfway through, I'm like, I know the twist already. And if I've known anything about reading thrillers or reading any book that has a twist like this, the guy they think did it, and the guy they're saying, this person did it, I can't believe this person did it, that's not who did it. I've read these books enough to know that's not who did it, and I'm just like, I know who did it, but it's not who they think they did it. I liked it, gave it a 3. This is not a very comprehensive review, but I gave it a 3. So it's okay. It's not bad at all. I'm interested enough to read the second one at least, but I may have grown out of this, I think is what it is, because it is a YA. But I finally read it, and it's okay. It is okay. If you like it better than I did, that is fantastic, but it's okay. It is an older read, not much older. It's like a 2016 read, so it still kind of has that very common classic YA feel to it that we come to know from YA books like this, but I don't hate it. But on the bright side, because I did finish a book, even if it's not the one I started for this vlog, it does mean I did finish one book in January, so my first book of 2026, meaning I get to fill this out. So that's exciting. So why don't you join me for that one?
So it is Sunday and it's actually been a very interesting day. I'm on page 200 and something in Emily Wilde, and I haven't actually read any of it because I was reading another audiobook, which is Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. Oh, big yawn. I was listening to the audiobook for Emily Foley. Oh, who is Emily Foley? I was listening to the audiobook for The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley and doing a color by number on my iPad because that's very comforting for me. That was nice yesterday, so I wanted to do it again. And then I didn't realize how tired I was because I had to get up early for church this morning. And I ended up sleeping and probably going back to the same chapter like 3 or 4 times because I kept falling asleep mid chapter and then waking up at a random point. I haven't touched Emily Wilde today. And it's like almost 8 o'clock. And it's 3 degrees outside. It's going okay. It's finally starting to really pick up. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I still think it's my least favorite out of the three, and I hate to say that. It's just the banter between Emily and Wendell isn't really there. And on top of that, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I feel a little weird about one of the plot points. I was like, it's almost too easy. But not too easy. I don't know. I don't think this one's going to be my favorite out of the three. That's all I'm saying. I hope you guys are still enjoying these videos because this one's not, this one's going to be like, this one's slow going. It has been like 3 days, but I have finally finished Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. Okay, it's been like 3 days since I finished it. I didn't do an outro earlier because I was either tired or I was grumpy. And I don't want to be grumpy when I do these anymore. I hate doing that. So so I gave myself a minute. I'm not grumpy about the book. I honestly gave this 4 stars, like I did the other two, but I will be perfectly honest. I did not connect to this one like I did the first two. I don't know. I felt like Emily and Wendell's relationship wasn't. I don't want to say it didn't have as much banter as I would have liked. I guess there wasn't a lot of that going on. There was a lot of like lovey-dovey stuff, which isn't necessarily bad, but sometimes that stuff just kind of seems disingenuous to me. That's a personal preference. I still liked it okay. Another issue I had was it didn't feel as grounded as the other ones did because most of this one takes place in Fairy. But those are kind of like my issues with it. Otherwise, it's still well written. It's still a fun series, so it's still got a 4 star from me. It took me so long to finish this because I overwhelmed myself that the subconjunctive hemorrhage that was in this eye has completely healed. Like, it's like it wasn't even there. It took me way too long to finish this vlog, but I finished the book. It was good. But my reading year has not gone off to a good start because this is a 4 star, and Stalking Jack the Ripper was a 3 star, and then I also finished The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley in this vlog. Not really in this vlog, but kind of like behind the scenes, and it was also a 3 star because it was like I'm interested, but it's also, I don't know, it didn't hit right. Everyone in that book sucks, which I think they're supposed to. Um, the twist was interesting. At least the twist was interesting. And it didn't feel like it came like completely out of nowhere. But it's very hard for me to read about characters that aren't fun to read about in the first place. And then you have like the sex references. I'm just like, guys, you need to chill. My favorite Lucy Foley book is still The Guest List, and I think it's just because it uses her style in the best way. The others are okay, but no, The Guest List is her best book. But I did finish what I set out to finish. The ebook I've started this year has not been finished. Um, 7 Days That Defy the World by John Lennox has not been finished yet, which is sad because there's only 5 chapters. But what I set out to do for this vlog has been finished. It is also like negative 12 degrees outside, so it is another reading day. But I'm gonna go ahead and give an outro. And so that was basically what I read, and it took me 2.5, 3 weeks. Don't overwhelm yourself at the beginning of the year. Don't pull a me. And remember when you're reading to relax. And this was fun. This was a really good. This was a good start. One thing I did like about reading this one at the beginning of the year is a lot of it takes place in January and the end of it takes place in February. So there was a point where I was reading the entry for January 17th on January 17th. I was mildly entertained by that. But yeah, I think it was a good vlog. It was a good start to the year. It was an okay start to the year. No 5 stars or anything. I think that's going to be it for this vlog. As for now, I'm going to start The Scarlet Star by Jennifer Crope. Yes, I said that right. By Jennifer Crope. This is apparently based on Beauty and the Beast and the Book of Esther. And I'd vlog about it, but I'm too excited to get it started to vlog about it, if that makes sense, because I still have to edit this vlog. So I'll probably do a book review on this one instead, but I really want to get this read, and I want to start ASAP. So I'll update you guys on that one when we get there and when I finish this book. I'm sorry a lot of these updates have been at my desk, but my bedroom is a disaster zone right now, and Luna is asleep on the heated blanket, so I can't make the bed because I don't want to move her. But that's going to be it from me for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. It was a little bit more of a lazy vlog. I really didn't feel like getting out my tripod for anything. But it also took a while because sometimes reading takes a while because I overwhelm myself. Anyway, that's going to be it for this vlog. I thank you guys so much for sticking with it, and I will see you guys in the next one. If you made it to the end, actually leave a fairy emoji in the comment section. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.